in this community. She's more toxic than Derek. She's more...
No, you're toxic. No, you are. Dantown, will you debate cleave to antiquity? Cleave? I'd never heard of that. He's been spurging in the comment section of your videos. I don't know. He can call in today. What is this? I'll check out his comments. I didn't see that name. Let me check it out.
More toxic than Neil.
You use the term the blacks multiple times as a noun. That's not a good look. That is not a good look. The blacks is not a noun.
The neutrals, you mean? What do you mean the blacks? How is the whites a noun, but the blacks is not it? What? What are you guys talking about?
The blacks is not a noun. That is...
Oh, is that Shannon? That's Shannon.
Not a good look. The blacks is not a noun. The blacks is not a noun.
That's actually pretty good editing, whoever did that Gnostic.
So, and I do want to thank...
The blacks.
There we go.
Hot
Guys, the blacks is not a noun.
Program for that.
All right, so there's here.
Black. Listen, Neil. The blacks is not a noun. These people have lost their mind. Do you have a Heath Ledger or Donald Trump? No, Billy Bob. I'm sorry. I've been working on it. My Donald Trump is such trash. Maybe I should merge the two. Also, TikTok has something Atheist hosting, several with hundreds of viewers. Maybe. Like, I hate TikTok so much. I hate it so much.
Here's the question. I had asked this question on like 4 accounts. Had to listen to this raggedy bitch
Give a neutral a break already.
for like 40 minutes to actually get her to answer my question. As much as I hate this raggedy bitch, she really do need some BBC though.
Oh, you know who this is?
Yo, listen to the
That's this
sound
guy.
of...
So he's saying, I don't like the raggedy bitch. It's kind of funny though. The atheist is being, I mean, it's perverse and gross, but you know, at least this guy
Yo, listen to the
is
sound.
coming in hot and being a human again and not pretending like you can't insult anyone or say anything ever again. He's saying this raggedy bee needs some BBC.
Come on, y'all. Just keep it real. Come on. Y'all know some good dick would change this bitch's life.
In this video, you will attain 0 gnosis.
Jeez, Neil. Neil. Just calm down, dude. Have to be this is so ominous. Jeez.
My apologies for those who are not into petty YouTube political drama.
I am. Anyone else in the chat? You know, sparingly, but yeah. Petty YouTube drama? Are you kidding me? It's like a snack. It's like ordering wings. You know what I mean? You're sitting at the table and they're like, everyone's like, well, I'm going to order a main dish. And of course you are. But should we get wings? Yes. AKA petty YouTube drama. That's a hell yeah. We're proud of it. We're proud of it.
We are proud of what we're like.
We are proud of what we're
proud
like.
of what we're going
That's
at.
right.
We are proud of who we are.
Yeah, hell yeah. What is your favorite color for car? Me, neutrals. Yeah, neutral.
Drama. In fact, I was very happy to see the comments of my last live stream of mostly disappointment and people saying, please don't do this. Please go back to your normal content. It actually made me feel better knowing that I cultivated an audience of people who don't care about...
Not below me? Yeah, Jason, it's not below me. What are you kidding me? I'm trash. I don't care. I'll follow the shrimp guy around the party. You think I care? I don't care if I'm dressed up in a tuxedo. I'm positioning myself in the critical path of intersecting with the hors d'oeuvre platter guy. Anyone else do that at the party? Pretend you're talking to someone and then you see the hors d'oeuvre guy. He's making a vector line. You see his endpoint and then you go, oh, I should go talk to Christopher, also known as the endpoint of the hors d'oeuvres guy.
About this petty nonsense, who actually are here for ancient history, mythology.
And then you act surprised. That's the most pathetic thing. I I feel gross about myself, where I position myself clearly in the path of the hors d'oeuvre guy at the party, and then I act surprised. Oh! I can't believe... Perfect! I'm in a good place! Oh! Oh, sorry! No, I'll take... What do you got here? What do you... Like, asking the hors d'oeuvre guy to explain what he has when everyone knows you already ask people. You're like, what is it? What are you eating? What is that? What's the food? Where's my food? I'm the youngest brother. Where's the food? Oh, what is it? Oh, this is bacon wrapped prosciutto with a... I already know. I already asked 5 people.
The Bible, and that's exactly what you're going to get from this channel. However, I do feel it's right for me to stand up to online bullying, harassment, and slandering, even borderline doxing in some cases. And I do want to give a timeline of my disassociation with the online atheist movement, which
I love you, Neil, but
acts very much like a cult.
Gotta do it.
Which I will demonstrate in this video. In this video,
I like Neil, though.
I'll be doing what's called an internal...
I really like this dude.
Now, I have to...
Steelborn, $5. So you're fully... Wait, so you are the really buff lady at the ice cream store who just tries samples and says, oh, I'm so bad. I mean, kind of. It's different at an ice cream store, Steelborn, because you can be of any class and sort of go into an ice cream store and taste. It's like totally fine to taste things. But at a party where people are dressed up, it's like you can filter out the class. You can see where the classism is by who is sort of navigating and moving their coordinates to be closer to the food. Because the fancy people don't really eye the food. In fact, they don't eat anything. They think it's gross to even eat in front of people. Picking little, you know, little mouth morsels off a platter. I mean, how pathetic is that? Eating off a napkin. I mean, this is like a humiliation ritual.
Say that very slowly.
That I'm totally willing to participate in every single time I'm invited to this type of party.
For people like Dan McClellan.
Look at that guy's Mormon face. Holy Mormon face alert. Nobody's wondering what kind of face this guy has.
No f***ing dog.
Because it's Mormon face.
Ricky Brock.
Not Mormon face. A lot of face.
Shannon Q. And others who think that me pointing out moral inconsistency is somehow a false equivalency. No, this is called an internal critique, which involves evaluating something like an idea within its own framework or by its own principles, focusing on it.
This is actually a good point. I'm constantly confused, and I still haven't figured out what it is about atheists, particularly. Now, sola scripturists, I would throw into this category as well. Yes, just to be fair to the secular atheists, Muslims as well. But what is it that has someone incapable of understanding their being internally critiqued? What is it? What is stopping them from understanding this distinction?
Identifying strengths and weaknesses without relying.
Monitor says abortion is moral. I'd like to hear the argument for that, Monitor. I mean, I'm glad you named yourself after a lizard.
On external perspectives. In this particular case, I am not agreeing with the claim that when you platform somebody, you normalize their behavior. This is the claim that was weighed against myself for hosting Bob Price recently and other times, like Giorgiani, for example. I have a policy on my channel that I started about 2 years ago that
Derek Water says, could you say ortho bros are all autistic? Autists should be a common term. Yeah, autists has been a term, actually. I've seen that go around, Derek. Autists.
If I host someone on my channel, I do not condone their political beliefs or believe in their worldview. I have them on because I want to have interesting discussions about their particular area of study, even if I disagree with them. However, I didn't always have this policy. A little over 2 years ago, I did try to follow along with the dogmas, if you will, of this online atheist movement.
Look, Neil, it's simple. I mean, Christians are cooler. Even the Christian bullies are just more likable.
But I started to care less and less about this as time went by, as I started to disassociate myself.
Shy Exhibitionist says, Jimbob, did you ever figure out if you were an ortho bro or not? Well, I think I left it to you guys, and you said, well, kind of. If you mean like online debate, bro, fine. But if it's defined as like a militant orthodox, you know, who's all like a legalist, almost like a orthodox person who ends up being a little legalist. They get into like a little too much of the rigor of it. Then no, I'm not that, you know. Not even close. I mean, I fail. I'm so bad at fasting. I mean, I'm terrible. I would call myself more of an ortho thug. You know what I mean? I think that's what most of us are over at least my channel. I think we're ortho thugs. You know, we're not really, I don't think we're academic enough to be an ortho bro. You know? We're like, what do they call them in England? The shavs? Are they called shavs? You know what I mean? And I don't mean thug like, you know, like, I mean thug like we're a little bit lower on the class scale, you know? Like I don't have 2 suits. I don't have a philosophy blog. I have some guitars and a harmonica. You know what I mean?
From this movement. I am not defending Bob Price or trying to make people think that they should still watch me or that they shouldn't criticize me. Also, the claim that people like were making, like Kip Davis.
I think the thing that frustrated me the most is that so much of this has taken place in a dark corner.
Your whole life is a dark corner, dude.
And
look at your room. You're literally in a dark corner of your house.
He and Neil were the ones to decide for everyone.
Ooh, Neil's getting outed. This is the beginning of Neil's path to orthodoxy.
That this was the time, and that this was happening, regardless of what the rest of the community thought.
Deciding for.
Can I review Robert Greene? Who is that? Yeah, sure. I don't care.
For the community, if Bob should be allowed back in their community, is completely bogus. Never did I.
It's kind of funny watching this and still being able to like derive some value and not knowing anybody.
I or Derek ever say
streaming from Shoal. That's funny, dude.
That you should accept Bob into your community. I've never made that claim. That was just sort of thrown at me as if I was.
You're an Ortho Sigma, Chad? I'm an Ortho Sigma boy, sing my boy, sing my boy. Ortho Sigma boy, sing my boy,
intending
sing
for people
my boy.
To have to accept him. I don't care if you accept him. You don't have to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to like my channel. You can say whatever you want about me. Just do not slander me, attack me, make up false things about me.
We met Neil in person. He's a super nice guy. He's great. I like him. Talked to him a variety of times. He's also very reasonable. We can pull him over. I mean, he needs to have a kids. That's what Neil needs. He needs to find a woman. He's going to realize he's the priest of his house, and he's going to figure out that, oh, shit, I got to teach. I got to lead. He's going to find out he wants a submissive wife that follows him. And he already has a beard. And he has some, you know, account of church history to some extent, I guess. So, you know what I mean?
That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. They'll figure out how to get by, how to work the angles to like ease you into this grift.
Look, dude, Neil, if you're watching, all that's happening is they're seeing successful people not take this sort of virtue, piety signaling, progressive nonsense machine that's happening. So then any criticism of like the Troon stuff or what reality is and whether or not progressivism is rejecting reality and getting all wonky and weird, they're just mad you have a successful channel. What do you got? 230,000? Derek, one of the more successful sort of atheist accounts. They're mad that they're sort of leading more popular talking heads, no offense. They're mad that you guys are successful. And looking at the streams, you guys definitely are, you know, atheist channels generally don't bring in like support super chats because, well, let's face it, they're atheists, you know. They don't have any sense of like of this, you know. They'll vote for Hillary Clinton. Maybe they'll send a donation to like like an animal shelter or something. But they don't like humans. Atheists are generally just despise humanity. That's why you go over here, and if you find more reasonable people, like there are Christians that follow Neil, there's definitely Christians who follow Myth Vision, and they probably just look at the super chats and they're like, oh, he's terrible, he's grifting. You should review Oliver Anthony's new song about divorce, Scornful Woman. I guess if it's short enough, we could all tolerate and make our way through Oliver Anthony.
And before you'll know it, you'll start bitching about trans people. Because that's what we're seeing now.
Oh my gosh, this guy's so gay.
Right?
What are you crying about, dude?
Stop whining.
Call me Kid Bob.
This
guy's literally gonna cry.
I've never seen Derek bitch about trans people. I've never seen Neil bitch about trans people. All of a sudden, they're spewing all the same right-wing talking points that we're all familiar with.
Genetic fallacy.
Out of nowhere, all at the same time. I responded to Matt, and I was like, would you believe that he used to make...
What did he say? Did Neil say, I don't know, yeah, well, when you think about it, there's no referent for gender, for troons, whatever you're referring to. There's no referent. Where there is a referent for sex, even the expressions, what we see typically from sexes, there's a referent for.
Well-informed, educated content, and now he's just...
It's only 3 minutes long.
Shit.
Oof, Steelborn, maybe.
Posting because it makes him more money.
I have to talk my way through it if I want it to be commentary.
Like that's the result of...
This guy's literally bitching about trans people.
Fucking right-wing grift.
Dude, he boinked a dude in a dress, and now he's all, why are you going after Carly? Okay, Carly, let's take that Y off, shall we?
You don't gotta do any of that anymore. Just bitch about trans people. You're fine. And that's where we are. Stop me if you've heard this one. Bitching about trans people. But that's what you want to do?
What is this?
That if you go to any right-wing atheist stream, any right-wing stream in general, but if you go into any right-wing atheist stream, it's the same fucking thing every goddamn time. Bitching about trans people. Constantly. Whiny fucking bitches.
Wow, he just had a recent escapade, honestly. It's like the more upset they are with this, the more recent the fling was.
And then they'll talk about philosophy like a little bit, and then they'll be like, by the way, fuck trans people. I'm not using their pronouns.
You definitely fuck trans people.
This is really the group you want to be associated with.
Do you really want to? Just all this piety signaling. Nothing said, no arguments, nothing, no reasoning, no logic. It's all just like a high school kid being like, Neil, you really want to sit at the lunch table with those guys? They're so...
You want to shit on trans people so bad?
Monitor, there's nothing wrong with... Well, that you're saying there's nothing wrong with lying then. Good job, buddy. If there's nothing wrong with troons, then there's nothing wrong with delusion. Is that what you're saying? So then if you thought Christianity was delusional, then there would be nothing wrong with Christianity by that metric. It's just too easy to wreck you guys.
Attempt to reach...
It's just like I can do it like barely awake.
Out to my associates, like scholars that I'm affiliated.
You mean me? You mean scholars like me? Is that who you're referring to, Neil? Well, you should at least mention my name. What if I just kept referring to myself as a scholar?
With which you have done, and I have the receipts for that.
What's going on? Like talking trash about Derek and Neil, and the other thing that I'm concerned about is our
dude, have a WWE panel blowout. That's what you need. Come on. Obviously that's what you guys need to do. Massive WWE panel blowout. So want to make fun of Transformers? They're just gay with extra steps.
contacting scholars to disassociate them from Derek and Neil. Is that the next thing that's going to be happening? Is that already happening?
Yeah, it sounds like that's already been happening for a while, from what I understand. This stays between us.
You have gone...
This stays between us? I guess that didn't happen. So now they're going to go after Neil's income and stuff.
Past criticism or fair criticisms, and you have gone into the realm of harassment. You have gone into the realm of smearing. That is what I'm going to attack in this video. On top of that, moral inconsistencies in your own worldview on blatant display will be exposed in this video as well. I'm not making any equivalency of Bob's behavior and anyone else's behavior.
Oh, my favorite. This is my favorite.
I do mind anything progressive in this community.
This is your worldview. This is an internal critique on your worldview. Also, I never claimed that I wanted to...
Who is this guy? This is Neil, Gnostic Neil. He's in our chat a bunch of times.
...be friends with any of you, or that you need to...
Any good books you recommend? Yeah. Religion of the Apostles by Father Stephen DeYoung, and God is a Man of War, also by Father Stephen DeYoung.
Accept me, as Matt Dillahunty points out.
I talked about the pity party that...
This guy, I debated this guy with David Patrick Harry, and he had his wife calling us names in the background, and I called him out on it, and he quit. He rage quit. It was hilarious.
Neil had with, evidently, Derek. Anybody can have any...
Ugh, look at that gross mustache. I mean, just imagine what that's buried in at night. Oof. So gross, dude. He looks like Geppetto. He looks like Geppetto. He looks like he's working on a Pinocchio doll that's already lying, if you know what I mean. Justin Henley, 5 MadeByJimbob memberships. Thank you, Justin. By the way, I got to meet Justin Henley. Kind of funny thing happened at church. One of our chanters is the same height. Justin's fairly tall. I think he might be like 6'1" or something. and he's half black. And apparently one of our chanters looks like him, and he was actually called up during liturgy, and he was really confused. He was like, "What?" And she was all, "Aren't you?" And he's like, "No, I'm just black. You just thought it was me because I'm neutral." But it was great to see him. I'm gonna have dinner with Justin tonight. It's good to hang out with you, dude. We had some beers after. It was great catching up, I suppose. Catch up. Meeting you? I guess it's not technically catching up. Anyway, it was great. Jason Cassell, $10. Okay, I'm going to make a YouTube channel called Trans Spotting. Nice, dude. Where all I do is point out who's trans and not. That could be one of those, Jason, you know those, I don't know if they still have those like touchscreen bar games. You remember the bar games, like pick what's missing from the two? Trans Spotting is a genius idea for the touchscreen bar games.
Anybody on their show, and anybody can complain about it. That's what proper.
That mustache is so gross, dude. Dude. Oh. Dude looks like he's like permanent, just OBGYN, like, nightmare face. It's like if you ask 100 women, which one of these faces would you not want to be your OBGYN? I bet you 100 of them would say this face right here. That's the face you don't want. Whoa! Makes me want to shave my whole face. I'm grossed out.
For freedom.
Ugh, look at that.
Looks like.
Ew. Looks like. Ugh. What are you even turning into, dude?
And what
are you?
What's happening is that people are like, oh, it's cancel culture. It's not cancel culture. It's accountability. It's like saying, hey, I invited all of you into my house and you said something shitty, so I kicked you out. And then all the people in the house went out to a restaurant and you were...
What's wrong with his mouth? Did he have a stroke or something? He's getting like Destiny mouth.
Were there and tried to come over because it's a public place and you still want to hang out with us. And we looked at you and said,
are you drunk? I have no problem with people being drunk on the stream. I mean, I've been drunk on my own stream. It's actually tempting. But
we don't want to hang out with you. You guys are mean. Just because I hang out with fascists and racists, you guys are mean. Okay, then we're mean.
This analogy that I was in your house and I got kicked out makes no sense from the beginning, because I've always been in my own house. I've never claimed to be in control of the community, or for 2 years now. I've been so
what house is it? That's the other thing, is they have a totally house. Their house is divided. This is like what's kind of funny, and I know Neil actually knows this deep in his heart, is that if you're a part of a quote worldview, or like, not to say your worldview is your community, but they're referring to like this like house of atheism, but there really isn't a house, because there's nothing that binds you guys together other than like some temporal preferences. And that's why you get these divisions, because suddenly atheists and secularists start banding together for Troon's ideology and all sorts of whacked out shit. And then the people who are more empirically based, Richard Dawkins, more scientifically based, Neil and these types are going, well, you know, you guys don't really have a good standard or justification or defense of this worldview. And they're all, yeah, you hate them. Get out of our house. They just don't have a house. It's actually worse than a house. Atheism has no foundation at all. So the only thing they can bicker about is current political trends, current cultural trends. That's all they can bicker about, because there's no foundation. You know, they don't argue about the bricks, the foundation of the view. They argue about the wallpaper. You don't like my wallpaper.
Distant from this community. The second part was even worse.
And then all the people in the house went out to a restaurant, and you were there and tried to come over because it's a public place and you still want to hang out with us. And we looked at you and said, we don't want to hang out with you.
You don't want to hang out with Neil?
You guys are mean.
This is even funnier to me because, if anything, I'm the one going to a restaurant minding my own business, and you guys are coming over to me, trying to go, hey, waiter, don't serve him.
For real, Neil? This is what they were doing? Don't serve him? I mean, I kind of want to do that to lunatics, too. I mean, I got to be honest. You know, let's be honest here. If I could influence some restaurants, would I pick out some types of people that I think should be denied service? Yeah.
Don't serve him. He's bad. Don't serve him. That's the analogy. So the analogy is more like...
I mean, I wish the pizza place would just refuse to serve me. Tell me I'm cut off. They do that with liquor. They never do that with fat people. Don't you think that's inconsistent? They're like, all right, Chuck, you've had enough tonight. It's time to go home. They never do that at the drive-thru. Sorry, sir, you're beyond fat. Sir, we're going to have to ask you to continue driving through. We can't serve you today, sir. You've hit the limit.
Like, I'm at my own house, and I'm minding my own business, having my own friend over. You decide to throw a rock through my window. And then, after I threw the rock back at you...
Bro, just fight him, Neil. Just offer to physically fight all of the atheists. It's such an easy solution.
And you guys ran away. Then I went to a restaurant.
No neutrals get to use my drinking fountain.
And I was about to order my food. And then you guys came into the restaurant and said, hey, waiter, he's a fascist. Don't serve him. That is the more realistic analogy.
Monitor is a troll. He's just here to say completely oppositional statements. That's all his shtick is.
Here.
We already figured it out.
Never once did I try to hang out with you guys or try to be a part of anything you're doing. You are the one.
Yeah, I have a feeling that that's actually true. Like, I don't... Like, if he overhears Matt Dillahunty all like, hey, we're having an atheist party at my house, you know? We're all going to be dressed up in dresses and weird shit going to be going on. I don't see Neil being like, can I come, guys?
Inserting yourself in this drama, you are the one who told me to call in your show. I've never, ever approached you once and ever said that you should accept my show.
So you're just in here kicking shit around for clicks. So say goodbye, Neil.
No, you're the one who told me I was afraid to come here. You're the one who asked me to come on here. You said, "Are you scared
say goodbye,
to
Neil?"
Come on?
See, he's such a liar, dude. This is why you can't even you can't interact with Matt Dillahunty, Neil, and be surprised that he's the lowest type of human being. Just this is the only time where I'm kind of sympathetic to the clump of cells argument. Where I'm like, well, a baby's more than a clump of cells. And then they're like, what is this? What do you see in this picture, Jimbob? And I'm like, is that Matt Dillahunty? Yes. Okay. Fuck, dude. Clump of cells. I see a clump of cells.
Say goodbye, Neil.
Haha.
The interesting thing about Matt Dillahunty here is I never even talked about him. He put himself into the middle.
Listener, I'm playing this in public, no headphones. That happens to me all the time with people.
Of this on Facebook.
What up, my neutrals? Oh, you are. Wait, hello, listener. Are you in public right now? Speakerphone. Hey, look at me! I'm a hot dog sandwich. Hey, 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 over here. You want to hang out with a gay? Hey, where are you? At Home Depot? Hey, can you point me in the direction of the gay hammers? It's June. I'm looking for a gay level. Hey, look. I see you got a rainbow hammer. Do you have any gay nails? I'm looking to hammer some gay nails. Hey, hey-yo.
He invited me on his channel
You're welcome
to
for that.
defend this. He is the one putting himself in the...
Hey, Dada, can you help me? Or actually, let's do something else. Help! 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 Help me! Wait, how public are you? Hello, listener. Where are you? Like, are you at like a store at least? This is great. I'm gonna get in a fight. Here, turn the phone up. Fire! Fire! Oh. You're at a bagel shop.
Hey! What kind of bagels you want?
You know, you're in this video. It's at an hour. That's cool. I'm actually quite enjoying it, Neil. I was saying to my audience that it's like watching. It's like if there was like a TMZ equivalent to like the atheist community, like what's going on.
Drama, not me. And even to this very day, I never once said that Matt Dillahunty...
Oy vey, what are you listening to? What you say you're at a bagel shop? Oy!
...was in a cult or was the woke mob. He continues to put that into my own mouth.
I talked about the pity party that...
Dude, this guy's such a liar, Neil. I mean, I don't know why you were surprised by any of this. Not that you are. You're not acting too surprised, but this guy is just...
Neil had with...
How is he still their hero? That's what I want to know. How does this guy still hold any sort of relevance? I don't even understand what happened.
Evidently, Derek. I haven't watched it. I don't care to watch it. But somebody was like, "Oh, they were talking about you," and Derek was like, "We were not friends." But, and I am the woke left mob. But
But never said that. Maybe my criticisms of other people are just getting a little too close to home and
outer space. He was the firstborn son of God.
Who was the firstborn son of God?
Was the celestial image of God.
The celestial image of God.
He was God's agent of creation.
God's agent of creation.
And he was God's celestial high priest.
And God's celestial high priest.
Now the curious thing is in our earliest writings for Christians, this is exactly the Jesus they're talking about. All of these attributes are assigned to their Jesus.
Now, John was so upset by that clip that he decided to contact every person that I knew. And
oh my gosh, this guy, John is the worst. He's the one who rage quit when I debated him.
Threatened to pull out his support for them if they didn't disassociate with
Gormless Goon the Godless.
me.
So degenerate.
Which was a failure. Also, his wife threatened to dox me and laugh.
Your wife messaged you? She's watching this? Hello, Miss Hello, listener. Hello.
About me working at a job that I had selling pastries in the mall.
It's poorly worded because it was meant to be an attention grabber. Obviously.
It's meant to be an attention grabber. The video is the top 3 reasons why I'm a mythicist. Your top.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Since when is it a criticism of someone who has a YouTube channel for doing something that it grabs attention? What the hell kind of criticism is that? That's like going up to a golfer and being like, "Yeah, I see you trying to put the ball in the hole." Unbelievable. That's like me telling hello listener here. Oh, you're in a bagel shop? I see it. So you like bagels then?
Top 3 reasons why I'm a mythicist. Number 1, I'm doing an attention grabber. I'm gonna grab your attention, everyone, without telling you about.
Good. Lean into it, dude.
I'm never gonna explain to you that I'm doing an attention grabber. You know what that's called?
I mean, who the hell would be a YouTuber and wouldn't think, in addition to the topic you're doing, how you could grab people's attention? Like the attention scarcity problem we have. I thought this is a non-controversial position here.
Called, bro?
I mean,
you know what that's literally called in real life? That's called lying. That's called fucking lying.
They don't care if they lie, Neil. They don't care if they lie, dude. It's by any means possible.
When you say something that's not true to try to get a reaction or provoke, that's fucking lying. You literally just admitted that you lied.
So the whole thing was for nothing.
They just don't care.
All
Pocket
me calling
Locker.
me a
He's my
compulsive
favorite
liar, campaigning to get me.
This is Pocket
Yo,
Locker.
listen to the sound of his
all that
voice.
for nothing.
It's the voice of white supremacy
He's
and
talking about me.
smugness.
Yeah.
It's the voice of oppression.
Yeah. He was talking about me.
Call it out.
And I'm here to stay on fucking topic.
This guy's the worst. This guy says he's an evolutionary biologist, and we asked him what he does, and he said he looks at digital, like virtual models of biology. That's what he does. He calls that science.
Talking about.
First and foremost, the person that hosted this original stream was Jay from Pocket Locker 86.
The thing we were talking about.
Someone
he's always yelling.
Who I used to have on my channel years ago, who I've been very distant from after seeing some very distasteful behavior, in my opinion.
I'm just beating up on a dumb lady.
Are all these guys the atheist endgame? Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the only hope, it's not real hope, the only false hope, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only false hope, is transhumanism. It's really the only thing they could, in the future, looking at it, like to lean into. That's the only thing to lean into, is transhumanism.
Rebecca's just dumb, y'all. Rebecca Davis is stupid. Is it really because she's a 6 that will smile at you? As much as...
She's a 6? What? What the fuck? What did you just say? What? What?
I hate this raggedy bitch. She really do need some BBC, though. Some good dick would change this bitch's life. Yeah, no, I don't think Rebecca Davis is attractive. Rebecca Davis is trash.
And kept my distance for my own personal reasons. Now, one can say, why are you taking a distance from Jay, but you talk to Bob? The answer to that is simple. Bob is someone who I have topics that I want to discuss with him, who he's...
Look at Bob's camera quality. I mean, I don't even know how Neil got called out for talking to this guy with that camera. I mean, nobody without the name, you'd never know. In fact, if you showed that picture of Bob to Mormons, they'd be like, Cain in the house.
Is interested in topics that I'm interested in. That's why we have discussions together. Jay,
imagine if anyone said this to someone. I know, dude. I know. Well, that's what you're pointing out is just a double standard, and it's like they don't want to just bite the bullet, right? But this is all good news, though, Neil, because you're seeing, at least in comedy, which is, I would point to comedy generally as a sort of barometer for where culture's going. And I think we're swinging back. You know, they're bringing back the R word. They're giving up on a lot of this policing, and these guys you're talking to, Neil, they're in their last death rattle. Is that what it's called? A death rattle? They're clinging to the last remnants of their piety signaling, but they're feeling it swing back the other way, and so they have to. Anyone who's like you, who's clearly not like right wing or religious right wing or anything, they just need to attack people because they're losing. Because nobody's listening anymore. They're just like, we don't care about this shit anymore, dude. We want to get back to the days where you could have a beer with someone you vehemently disagree with, and you can call them all the names in the book, and you guys leave amicable, at the very least.
Jay is someone who I don't have a lot in common with as far as things that he wants to talk about. Having nothing in common with me, combined with terrible behavior online, there's just nothing there that I'm interested in. So Jay, who's talking about boycotting Derek and myself, let's see if Jay's behavior holds.
Now, here's the thing, Neil, that you have to understand is the people who, for the most part, I've seen it, at least from, this is anecdotal, I don't have the metrics, but from my own experience of like sort of going through all these atheist channels, as far as boycotting, there's not a lot of financial exchange happening for these other sort of more, what would you call, woke or lunatic leftist progressive people. Like they're not flowing in money and wealth. They're not skilled labor people. They're not plumbers, electricians. They're not blue collar. They're not, they're not top-notch lawyers and shit like this. So they're not donating much. So when they say, let's boycott Derek, all they're really saying is don't watch his show. But there's no real damage that can happen because there was never money. For the most part, they're not the ones giving these channels money. The ones who give money are more centered in reality, even if they're atheists. And they know what work is. They know what earning their keep is. They're maybe less leaning toward like socialism and communism. Like they're economically conservative, and maybe they have families even. But the people you're fighting with are literally just childless goblins.
Up to the standard that they're putting against everyone else. Now, this is Rebecca. Rebecca is a Christian who put herself out there online, and as far as I'm aware of, was extremely friendly to atheists and people who aren't Christian, critics, and was out there debating, talking to Pine Creek.
Pine Creek's awesome.
Talking to other people online, and Jay led a bullying campaign against her that got pretty harsh.
No real impact on me or Derek's channel. Derek, most of his 100 subscribers, like, yeah, there's the people who are like donating. They are people with like regular, they know the value of their regular job and like what they do, and they value it. And a lot of these people, they don't have any leverage. It's all outrage leverage, but it's gone. It doesn't have any more oomph to it. The outrage leverage. Before you could like socially leverage people, and it might impact the people who actually have like a wallet. But people aren't buying it anymore. So they're just like, you got nothing. All you can do is throw mud at people and say, you're hateful, you're a bigot, you're this. It's also dead. It already died. I think it died like last year, honestly.
Let's take a look.
And I do want to thank
There we go.
Hot Program for that.
All right, so here's the question. I had asked this question on like 4 accounts. Had to listen to this raggedy bitch for like 40 minutes to actually get her to answer my question.
I mean, at least Pocket Locker is now using terms like raggedy bitch. I mean, he'll be next. The more expressive and authentic Pocket Locker gets, the closer he gets to being the next one on the chopping block. You know, because under a progressive mindset, because of the heresies always change, the transgressions, the blasphemy in that world always changes. It gets sort of narrowed down. You will eventually take a position or say something that violates the church of progressive idiocy, and then you'll be cut out too. So that includes calling someone a bitch, like a raggedy bitch or whatever. That might be enough right there.
As much as I hate this raggedy bitch, she really do need some BBC though.
Yeah, that especially. That's like aggressive sexual references for someone, right? Which that's not my style, but as far as someone being authentic in what they're saying, you know, I could see a comedian saying this. I could see like, you know, Sam Hyde or someone peripheral to him saying this in a comedic context and it be totally fine.
Oh, y'all, just keep it real. Come on. Y'all know some good dick would change this bitch's life.
And like kind of his...
Like that's like something, to give Pocket Locker credit, that's something maybe, who's the famous guy who ran off to Africa? You know, the most famous black comedian there is. You know, you could see someone doing that. Like, I don't find it like particularly funny, but in a different context, you'd be totally fine with that. You'd be like, oh, that's, you know, that's a funny roast. That's like a funny like jab. But when you're in this like purity, this weird purity, atheist purity, that's what's so ironic is that when you hang out with like Orthodox people, you don't get the sense you're in a purity confine, you know, it's actually the opposite. When you go into the supposed anti-Puritan, the anti-purity communities, they're super pure. They just don't have a standard for what's pure. It's like feelings based or whatever the social taboo of the year is, what you can't say, this kind of stuff. You're tiptoeing around, you know, words and phrases. They're actually more pure in their policing than I can only speak for Orthodox Christians, but generally speaking, Orthodox Christians, they're way more policing of all of the language and stuff.
His expressions.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I could say Dave Chappelle's.
I wouldn't
really
fuck Rebecca Davis with your dick.
And so I love the way that he does that. And so should I give you an experience? Okay.
I mean, Pocket Locker seems to be admitting he would, as they say on X. Would? Is that the term the kids are using? Would?
Okay. Well, can I there's lots of different visions that I could share.
A lot of y'all thought I was being rude when I shit on Rebecca Davis's sex life. A lot of y'all said, Jay, why are you talking about that woman's sex life being bad? Jay, are you saying that raggedy bitch Rebecca just has the sex life that's the equivalent of a fucking club saltine cracker with no toppings, broken up and crushed under the foot of an elephant at a zoo? I told you this bitch's sex life is terrible, and that's the evidence. Hey, what more evidence do you need than praying about somebody who attends her church being like, oh, I saw that dude that came to our church. Yeah, the Lord put on my heart, I might see you in church today. That was better than her wedding.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I need a stroke check. Stroke check on all three. Mr. Davis, we need a stroke check on all three. Game is weak.
You know, my marriage.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. We made a commitment to tearing down this raggedy bitch's content, but it's hard. Raggedy bitch Rebecca.